How's it going, cool kids? Good morning and welcome to AMHQ Weekend. It is Saturday, December 19th, 2015. I'm meteorologist Reynolds.
I like that. It's like we're like superheroes.
Absolutely.
I'm meteorologist Kate Parker, superheroes of weather, all in the house this morning. I mean, I'm not saying us. I'm saying, like, you know, we've got Greg Postel, Dr. Greg Postel coming in a little bit. We've got Greg Diamond, our weather producer.
Wonder Twin Powers activate. All right. Should we get going?
And that ends up in a lot of accidents.
Yeah, they had to kind of relearn how to drive in the winter conditions again. So, I mean, it's going to be an effort in progress because you do have the lake effect activity. We've mentioned, of course, parts of Pennsylvania, New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, some of it off Lake Champlain. But in the deep south, precipitation not an issue at all.
No, gorgeous weather for a lot of the country and right on season. So if you're trying to get that last minute holiday shopping in, it's going to at least feel like it's December. Unfortunately, in the Pacific Northwest, we continue with another system today. It does mean rain in Central California.
You're absolutely right about that. And that's where we're going to...
What happened? It's way colder. This is the brief little chill. See how we've got this little dip in the jet stream? It's not like this huge amplified trough that's going to sit over the East Coast forever. In fact, this is already progressing, so you're going to see that moderate back out by the time we get to tomorrow. Yeah, it already retreats back up to the north. That colder air goes back to Canada, and the temperatures begin to warm again with that southerly flow. So don't count on it lasting too long. We're not going to see like this extreme cold snap that lasts forever. In fact, temperatures are just close to average. They're not even above average right now. 30 degrees in Atlanta, Memphis, you're at 34. KC, 26, a chilly 9 degrees in Minneapolis this morning. So, yeah, it's a little different than you've had recently. We do have a freeze warning in place because these are spots that have not had those cold temperatures so far this season. So you're feeling it this morning from Dothan to Gulfport to Tallahassee, and then even to Waycross across a lot of southern Georgia in on that mix on that freeze warning. So if you didn't bring the plants in, might want to do it now because we haven't quite reached the coldest time in the morning. You might be able to still save them. Okay, today, this is what you're looking at for a high. 54 in Atlanta is all you're getting up to. 28 in Minneapolis, New York 41. And then look at what happens tomorrow morning. Still going to be very chilly, but Minneapolis, notice you're already at 23 degrees for tomorrow morning's high. Today you're at 9, tomorrow morning's low. And tomorrow afternoon, 57 in Atlanta, 44 in New York. So it's just a brief chill for the weekend. Makes it feel like the holidays, then we're going to warm up as it actually gets closer to the holiday.
It kind of just reminds us where the calendar happens to be.
Right.
Okay, well, that makes sense.
And you know, it's about 1 in every 4 Christmases that you see rain in Houston. So will we see it this year? It's a possibility. Let's talk about Atlanta. We've got some showers in the forecast leading up to it. So if you're trying to travel, get on the roads Tuesday, Wednesday, even Christmas Eve, you have not only rain, but possibly some hit or miss thunderstorms in the forecast. And it does look like it could rain on Christmas Day, but your high temperature is going to be 76 degrees. Wrap your mind around that. 76 degrees in Atlanta, Georgia on Christmas Day. This Gulf moisture is going to just basically a wide open door all across the East Coast. We're going to see lots of moisture and warmth surging north. So our rain driver is going to be this low that develops at the surface. So these lows are going to head north along the jet stream because this jet is set up like this, right? So that's where we're going to see the rain. And some of those are going to be some heavier downpours. We could even see a couple thunderstorms the farther south you go along I-10, maybe up to I-20. We might see a few of those as we get into Monday. How about Tuesday? It moves even farther to the east. So a soaker for travel on I-20, I-10, and then even heading up across Tennessee and 95. You're going to be wet pretty much all the way up and down the East Coast. So if you're driving from Florida heading back north for the holiday, you could see some problems. Thursday, Christmas Eve, some scattered showers. You're going to be dry in the southern plains, but the southeast and then up into New England, you actually still have rain in the forecast. Here's what I was talking about with Houston, 1 and 4. Christmases are wet. On Friday, it looks like hit or miss thunderstorms possible, Reynolds.
Okay, Kate, thanks so much.
We have for you this morning. We hate to bring that news. We want to explain how these happen so that you can understand a little better where they might occur, a landslide or a mudslide. It happens more commonly or a little easier where we don't have this soil that, or we have a burn scar, when we don't have all the plants to help absorb that water. That water can more easily get beneath that layer to an impenetrable layer. So the bottom layer of the soil where you start to hit rock, and that basically then creates almost like a lubricant, right? And so it's going to take that land and it'll slide right off of the area that it can't penetrate there. So that's why we see those massive landslides, and they can fill up Central Park in 20 feet of sediment. I mean, some are bigger than others. Obviously, this one that happened in Oregon was pretty tragic. So tragic stuff there. We've got more rain in the forecast. So if you know you live near a burn scar, just know that's an area that is going to be more susceptible to mudslides, landslides. That's not the only place they occur, though, so just make sure you're aware of your surroundings where you live. And pay attention to the forecast. A lot of rain in the forecast, and you know you're in a vulnerable area, might not be smart to stay there. Couple showers moving on shore this morning in Portland. As you head up into the mountains, that's where we're getting the snow. If you head south into California, the Sierra getting some nice snow this morning. You might have some trouble if you're heading out to Reno, though, because we do have some snow falling on the road, so please be careful. Plenty of rain as well coming into the central California, and we do have a good amount of snow in the mountains, but it's just still not more than average. If you look at the average that you typically would have, you're only 81% of average in the northern Sierra. As you head south, you're down to 75%. Better, certainly, than what we've seen over the past couple of years, but definitely would like to see more. Good news is we do have more in the forecast. How about this? By Wednesday night, we could see over 2 feet of snow, and a good portion of it, you know, not quite as far south as we would like, but hey, we'll take what we can get. We will take any snowpack possible, right? By Wednesday evening, that's a good amount of snow, and that does spread east, but only to the Four Corners, Reynolds, and then it stops, and white Christmas for no one on the East Coast.
Yeah, it is feast or famine out.